Greetings and salutations. My name is Michael Schwahn and welcome to the channel. We have some more reaction content for you and today we are checking out Torchlight Infinite. I'm actually kind of amazed that Torchlight Infinite is being made, that it exists. Torchlight is a Diablo clone, for lack of a better phrase for you. An isometric action RPG, action hack slash, whatever you want to call them. There's lots of things that these games kind of fall into. I've normally called them isometric action RPGs, but even that can be pretty vague. But now, when it comes to Torchlight, Torchlight 1 and 2 were really solid action RPGs, right? Like, they were definitely just trying to be a different brand of Diablo. They had a little bit more of cartoony graphics, like trying to think of World of Warcraft, or the modern version of that is like Fortnite style, where it's kind of a little bit more stylized, cartoony, but they were a lot of fun. They did a really good job. But then they made Torchlight 3, and Torchlight 3 was going to initially be a mobile game. And everyone was like, fucking what? No, we don't want, no, this doesn't need to be a mobile game. And then they're like, but there's so much money in mobile games. And then everyone's like, yeah, but we ain't buying your game. And everyone's like, oh, we really like you buy our game. All right, we'll put it on PC and we'll take out some of the mobile game stuff, which, to their credit, they did. However, the game was still made like a mobile game. Like, when you were looking at Torchlight 3, you're like, man, this just looks and feels like a mobile game. You don't got all the mobile game bullshit, but they kept like all of the mobile game UI. It was ugly. It did not play very well because it was designed for phones before it was designed for consoles. Nobody bought it. It bombed super hard. And so everyone was like, well, Torchlight's dead, bye, you know. And so when I saw a trailer go up for Torchlight Infinite, I was like, whoa, you guys still exist? Okay, cool. What are you doing? Did you learn your lesson? I hope so, but we'll find out. This first one is, we have two trailers. We have a cinematic trailer and then an actual game overview trailer. So we'll let them try and wow us with something pretty first, and then we'll actually see if the game itself looks decent or not. So let's begin. Didn't crash and burn after Torchlight 3? I thought it did.
My home,
I'm amazed that this is here.
Fell right into hell. But if you dig a couple miles deeper in there... Oh no. Forget it. Despair is all you're getting anyways. Welcome to this frickin' world, where the only thing stopping the Ember and the Emberons are a bunch of godforsaken lunatics.
I realize it's a cinematic trailer, but it's really cute so far. I want to play as that person.
Wants a sanctuary here?
No worries. We're supposed to be the good guys.
Yep, definitely want to play as the cat girl that is beating the monster with the armored door right now. Or them. Nope, definitely still the cat girl. Not even marginally sorry about it. Is that you? What are you doing, bro? By fire, be burned. Oh, hang on. By fire, be burned. Yeah, Eve, it definitely feels like a Borderlands spin-off game, and I'm all for it. Looks great. Obviously, this is still just cinematic, but I love the vibe going on here.
Are you sure Livy wants a sanctuary here?
When the Emberons broke through the gates, my tragic life
I would like to
fell
be
right in my hell.
wowed. Like, dang it.
If you dig a couple
Dang
miles
it.
deeper in there, you'll find...
Like I said, there's some World of Warcraft, like, inspiration up in there.
Welcome to this world of embers, Emberons, and a bunch of lunatics. They are Torchlight. Light through hell. Keep the torch on.
Okay, so we haven't seen any of the game yet, but that was a really good cinematic. Like, it was really good. I'm really happy with that. I hope this actually looks pretty good. I'll be sad if it don't. But it was a really good cinematic. Like, if you would have just dropped that to me at like E3 2018, I would have been like, boom, that's the game that I care about. I want to know what that is. That wins. What is it? Give it to me right now. But unfortunately, we have a history with Torchlight, so let's see what the actual game overview looks like. Okay, this is actual gameplay now. It looks really good. Visual style-wise, like the actual art direction, I like it. Do we play as these characters? You made your own characters in the older Torchlight games. Is it a MOBA? It shouldn't be. It should be like Diablo. It should be an isometric action RPG. Yeah, this looks very Diablo-esque. All-inclusive free market for all players. Well, they're still committed to the mobile shit, but here's one thing that I will say, okay? Here's the thing that I will say. They at least develop different UIs, right? Because while still very simple, this UI on the left looks more like the normal UIs that we're used to when it comes to isometric action RPGs. You got your health on the left, you got your spell resource on the right, and your abilities in the middle. It's really simple, but it at least looks different than the mobile version. I'm a little cautious about what this free market is because Diablo 3 tried the real money auction house. It went very poorly, so I'll be curious to know a little bit extra details about that. There's nothing inherently wrong with a game being on a phone, right? It's just a lot of mobile game design is really scummy. Like, I definitely believe mobile is a legitimate platform, but it's a matter of that it's also normally one of the most predatory platforms. I'm going to take a quick look and see if there is anything else for it. Torchlight Infinite. I normally do this beforehand, but... Okay, so here is best no pay to win RPG. Here's a gameplay review from down to top. Let me just take a look real quick in here. Gameplay classes overview. Okay. I'll have to look a little bit more about this on my own time. They lost me. And Diablo Immortal is fun enough for me, but I wouldn't want to spend money on it. Well, that's one of the important things here, right? Is like Torchlight 1 and 2 were your normal, like, story-driven isometric action RPGs. You just played through them. They did have, like, a post-game and an end-game and, like, a new game plus and additional tiers, kind of like the way that the additional difficulty levels, and I forget what they're called in Diablo 3, where you can torment levels, where you can make the game harder and it makes it where there's some level of replayability. And then, of course, like, Diablo 3 went with, like, seasons with new seasonal gear, loot, and builds and stuff like that. But Torchlight, otherwise, for 1 and 2, was a very traditional game in that sense of where you start at the beginning, you progress through it, and then if you could keep playing, there was options. If you wanted to keep playing after you had beat the game, there was options to do that. And it makes me wonder how much of that is present here, because there are a larger number of games coming out now that are free-to-play games that may or may not have pay-to-win elements, but if the game has a cohesive core that is a single player experience that has a finite beginning and end, I don't have a problem with that. Even if I have to spend money to get it, that's something that is okay. If they end up having like a real money auction house and like this, like, it's called Infinite, so we'll call it like an infinite dungeon that has some sort of leaderboards, that has some sort of, we'll just presume early some sort of predatory practice of trying to get people to chase loot the way that the gems and shit worked in Diablo Immortal. If it has its own cohesive base, then that's still something that I can palate for myself, because the people that want to chase after those higher numbers, those leaderboards on high difficulty levels and stuff like that, that's not normally me. I want to start a game, I want to finish a game, maybe go after a couple chase things that are extra after the end, but otherwise, once I've eaten the entree, I'm not looking for the game to serve up 18 different desserts. Maybe I'll pick one and kind of, get a little taste for it and be like, all right, that was really good, I'm satisfied now, and then I'll move on. But we don't have enough information yet. There might be some, it looks like there's like early access builds and people getting previews and stuff of it. So depending on what that's looking like, I like the way that it looks. I like the general build and design and approach, especially the art style. The art direction's really great. I like it a lot, but there's a lot of questions that I have on whether it's something that I'm willing to personally approach. I've yet to find a good mobile games that aren't filled with microtransactions or ads. You're really not going to. I can give you some recommendations if you want them, but they're all RPGs is the thing. And like, I'll tell you what, I've been playing Timesia. Unfortunately, we're getting ready to play Timesia. I've been playing Fantasian, which is from Hironobu Sakaguchi, the original creator of Final Fantasy, on Apple Arcade. Unfortunately, it's still locked to Apple Arcade. Really great. No microtransactions at all. No ads. You just get into Apple Arcade and play it through there. Really good. And then a lot of ported RPGs that have been ported onto mobile stores. We'll just use the Final Fantasy series as an example. Obviously, they normally cost more, somewhere between $10 to $20, but then it's just a, actual experience. But most modern games that come out, Fantasian being the exception, that immediately comes to mind anyway, but most modern games are scummy and trying to, squeeze money out of you. I want cheesecake. Ooh, cheesecake. Let's hope they do it right and include WASD movement for a keyboard, since despite the lack of other good stuff in Immortal, I love it was finally an option. I imagine so. One of the problems that they had with Torchlight 3 was that they developed it for mobile first, got a ton of pushback for it, and then did a really, really shoddy job of trying to bring it over to PC. And I think that they did learn that lesson by showing at base they're approaching both. I don't know if they will have WASD movement, though, just because that's not always standard for isometric action RPGs. A lot of them are click to move, so it might be an option, but I don't know. I missed that statement about arcade from Apple Eve. I apologize. So yeah, but anyway, God, that was such a fun cinematic trailer. It was a really fun cinematic trailer. I enjoyed that a lot. I am curious to see how this does and is received overall. I've not seen a whole lot of talk about it on any larger like channels, and I don't mean like YouTube channels. I mean like discussion channels or anything like that. I haven't not seen much talk about it on Reddit or Twitter or even on like the gaming discussions that happen on TikTok. I've not really seen anything about that, so I don't know. They've just burned so much of their goodwill that they had with Torchlight 3, but we'll see. I guess we'll see. As Athena just said, yeah, here's hoping. It looks good. I definitely have interest, but it is cautious interest. But what did you think? Let me know down in the comments below if you have looked into some of the previews for this game, the preview builds, the people that like that one video that said no pay to win action RPG. Really curious what that means. The thing that I'm most curious about is that what appeared to be a live auction house for players, it used, like red gem currency that I saw, like the little red shards. That doesn't mean that's a paid currency though. So there's a lot of questions out there that just simply aren't answered by the two trailers that we watched here. So you know any of those answers, or if you just want to present your own opinion, again, comments below. If you want to keep up the conversation elsewhere, two great places to do so are Discord and Twitter. And speaking of Discord, we actually have a channel dedicated to these reactions where you can place links of your own that we can watch together live on stream, because we do stream 4 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, and I would love to see you there. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, and if you want to catch future videos, please subscribe to the channel. But we're going to go check out some other stuff, so if you do go watch one of the other videos on the channel, or if I see you in the live stream, thank you, and enjoy.